Hey everyone, welcome to the Community Staking Podcast. This is Isaac, also known as NT on the internet, and I'm today with part of the team behind the Moo, one of the communities that was selected for the Community Staking Fleet pilot a few months ago. For those who are not aware, the Community Staking Fleet is a program that we launched to support the growth of interest in staking in grassroots communities. Well, thanks everyone for coming today. I'll let you guys introduce yourselves.
Sure. So I'll go first, I guess. Hey guys, my name is Sun, and I'm one of the co-contributor of the Move. And I am from mainland China, but I was brought up in the Middle East, and then I studied in United States and went back to China to so-called like look for my root or find my root. And then for recent years, I've been traveling, digital nomading around the world, and met a lot of friends in blockchain space. Met Manon, met V, met Patty, met Santi. Like they're amazing people. And then I think last year in June, July, we decided to do something I think like more meaningful, more impact, like has more social impact. And then we decided to like let's all do this project called the Move, and that's how it started. And yep, that's my part.
Good, good. Thank you. Thank you, Angie. I guess I will continue. So, my name is V, and I also have a Chinese name because I'm born and raised in China and recently changed this English name because we are a global community and it is required to have a fun and more, crypto name. So, I studied visual communication in university, and uh, I was a UX UI designer back in the Web2 company stage. And what brought me into blockchain is, yes, like dollar V, that's a crypto name, and also could be a meme coin as well. Okay, I'll think about it. So So yes, what brought me into crypto is actually lockdown during COVID. I was in Wuhan and I was being locked in a hotel in a very suburb area for 4 months. And during that time period, I have to, face myself, what am I doing here? Am I gonna do with my life? And what's the meaning of life, etc., etc. And that's how I got into blockchain. And that's how I find my career is to help people around me and also to bring my skill and my talent to the places where I can really have an impact on. And so I don't have to be preserved myself in China and join the huge competition that all this like Chinese company are doing, but instead I can contribute myself. For example, right now here I'm in Africa, and we will be going to more developing countries to bring the more talents into those countries and trying to bridge in the technology gap. So that's how I got to know Sun and created this wonderful community called the Moo, and we have been doing great. And the Moo community just started for 1 year, but we already made so many accomplishment. And but and also we know NT, and we've been connected to Lido community. So yeah, it has been a great journey for me. Thank you.
And I guess I'm next. So I'm Manon, and it's easy to guess where I come from with this strong accent. Basically, I've been working in the tech industry for 7 or 8 years in many different positions, like lawyer, HR, tech recruiter, DevRel, event manager. And yeah, I switched to Web3 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, 2 or 3 years ago. And everything I've always wanted to do with my life, with my career, was to have a positive impact on people. And that's what we are doing with the Move, trying to gather worldwide communities together, working on projects that can actually have an impact on people, on the country. And yeah, it's been a 1 year journey so far, and I really enjoy it.
Cool. Well, I'm actually surprised we spent so much time in Argentina, like the 2 weeks, and there's things I didn't even know. I guess also makes sense was like those were 2 really intense weeks, to be honest. That's pretty good. Now I want to get into what's actually the moon, and how it came about, and what does it represent? Why does the moon exist? I don't know who wants to give a crack at it. You're muted, son. Oh,
No, I was
yeah.
just saying like B, do you want to go ahead because like you tell such a better story than I do. Like the name, the
Really?
meaning behind the mood name and all that stuff. Yeah, why not?
Okay. So, okay, if you are interested in the background story of the moon or how we choose the name, yes, of course. Uh, so actually, the name was inspired by a mythical lost continent, just like Atlantis, but right in the middle of Pacific. So back in the day, there was Atlantis and also the moon. Just like nowadays, we have the Western world and the Eastern world, and like Eastern world has more like spiritual development, and the Western world are more technological driven. The moon and Atlantis was also kind of similar back in the day. But what we love about this story is that uh, this continent spread its knowledge, the culture, the language to all the regions and countries that's around Pacific, like Japan and South America, America, China, all the places you can literally find like similarity in those places, the culture of those places. But someday, because of some earthquake or aliens, I don't know, but the moon, this continent, the entire continent vanished, and but it doesn't matter. Even it vanished, it disappeared. No one knows about it. But the value it created, the technology, the culture it created, spread it all over the world, and that's something that we found resonate with, right? Like the first pop-up city we did in Chiang Mai ended after 6 weeks, but the story being told, the friendship being formed, and also the local impact being created right now are still like continuing growing. And same as Muy Buenos, like I've been receiving a lot of feedbacks saying that it is the first time after 4 years of DevCon that all the Latin American like communities being united in one places and have the environment to co-create and have some like positive result, a collective result, just like Crecimiento, how Crecimiento started because of Muy Buenos initiated the movement or how, created those environment for so much communities to be hands-on, be together and that's how we call a legacy, right? So that's the story behind the Mu, the idea of the Mu.
That's pretty cool. I remember I was a bit embarrassed when Son told me about that because I used to associate the moo with cows, like the sound of the cow.
You're
And
not the only one.
yeah, and like I was in one of the rooms with Son, and he was
Yes.
like, "No, dude, it's not because of cows. It's because of the ancient city and all that." Uh,
Yeah. But do you know, I got like other people, they also have different explanation about Mu, and the most, I don't know, funny or coolest explanation is the Mu is the meetup.
ooh, well, that's
It actually makes
cool.
sense. The
Yeah.
meetup, we meet up.
Hey, you guys picked a really good name. Like you can do a lot of stuff with it.
Thank you.
And I think also
True.
Right.
the story about the mood itself, I think it's a pretty good one for many reasons. First, because of the legacy, but also because of um you like I wasn't even aware that that even existed. Like you always hear about Atlantis and all that, but you don't really hear about the Mu, which is
Mm.
pretty cool as well. Going a bit deeper, I guess now is Muy Buenos Aires. After doing Mu in Shanghai and all that, why did you guys decide to cross two continents and go as south as you can possibly go?
Mm. I guess
Because we're
that was
crazy.
or
Yeah, go ahead.
okay, I think she explained already. Yeah, I think it's literally the reason, I guess. Like we're literally like we're not trying to be like think logical, especially we first like honestly the first reason was is because none of us ever been to South America, so we wanted to go there in some way, some reason. That's why we decided to originally we were planning to go to Brazil, but then Patty from our team, she's from Brazil, and she's like, not Brazil, somewhere else. And so we decided to do a research and we met a lot of people, friends from during the Dev Connect last year. We
Mhm.
met Santi, we met Petra, we met Romina, and we even went to this gathering of Latin community gathering in Dev Connect, and we met a lot of other friends. And also we heard a lot more about the history and the impact of Argentina to blockchain ecosystem. Like there's Open Zeppelin, there's POAP, there's so many things happening. So it just sounded like it's the most. It sounds like there's so many things we could do over there, and but somehow this is not like. So we decided to let's go there. Let's meet up with everyone. So that's how we decide to do this whole thing. And also, I think with the help of Eat Argentina team co-host, so this Bonus experience is co-hosted with Eat Argentina team, and thanks to them, they took care of a lot of uh, like um, hello,
Hey, buddy.
Patty's here. Nice, nice. So yeah, so we're just talking about like how Mubonis started, like why we decided to go to Argentina, and so we met a lot of Argentinian communities and also Eat Argentina team. They're super friendly and they helped us a lot. And finally, it's just and then Patty and Manon they flew there during January, right? And then they found the right place and they found the right partners, local partners, and it just seems everything is working fine. That's why we head to Argentina, literally the other part of the world, and super excited we did this crazy and sometimes seems a bit stupid
No,
decision, but
actually, it's not stupid. It's not
it's
stupid.
not, yes,
Like
but I think it's
it
crazy.
is so aligned. It is so aligned with our vision. Like Mu Chiang Mai in
True.
Thailand was a great first event, but Mu Buenos made even more sense than Mu Chiang
Yes.
Mai because we were
Mm.
flying to a country first that had super strong crypto communities, and we know why. Not just in Argentina, but in Latam in general. But also, this is a country that actually need blockchain, and
Yes.
that have actual use case to build something. And since with the
Yeah.
move, we're trying to have an impact everywhere we are going. That was the perfect playground for us, and we knew right from the start that we would meet so many passionate people that would be willing to change Latam, to change Argentina, and not change the world. So basically, we're a team of two optimistic and two pessimistic. Sun and V are the two optimistic, and I'm more with Patty. We're more like down to earth, and yeah,
Yeah.
we're always talking about changing
But
the
you are
world, not
slowly
changing the world.
changing your mind.
I know, but at least let's try to change Argentina with Muy Buenos and also Crecimiento, and I guess we're gonna talk about it just after.
Yeah. I
That's
think
still a very strong statement.
I think you guys are uh I think the impact that at least Muy Buenos had, because I'm not really aware of the other editions, but like when I remember when we were looking for communities to do this, um, everyone or everything was pointing to Muy Buenos. And maybe there's a bit of bias because I work a lot with people from Argentina. Well, actually, if you work in Latin America, like 80% of Latin American crypto is Argentina. So you kind of hear always about Argentina. But I don't remember who it was, but someone said like Muy Buenos was the first time in almost the whole history of Argentina and crypto where people had actually a place to come together and create something. Um, because they had a very strange situation where like you kind of know everyone, but you really don't get to spend time with everyone. Like everyone is working on their own thing, and that's perfectly fine. And like whoever from POAP or whoever from Open Zeppelin, whatever. But when did you get to just spend time with them, you know? And I think that's, at least from my point of view, something that really brought us to peak Muy Buenos as a community, in like a an experiment that was going to happen just probably once, at least in that shape of form, that now evolved into something else. We can go into that in a second. But before that, I'll let me also say hi to Patty that joined just now. I don't know if you want to introduce yourself.
Hey, yes, thank you for having me, even though I joined late. So you want me to introduce myself because for other people to see this? Yeah, okay. So hi everyone who's seeing this later. I'm Patty, and I was with the founding of Muching Mai a few months ago. That it's oops. It sounds like it seems like it was a year ago. And actually, it was right, almost a year ago that we started planning.
Oh, wait. Yes,
Yeah,
almost a
that we
year.
started planning. Yeah, and
Time
it
flies.
has been a very fun adventure because I had been working with education and community, but having like what I think would define the Moose purpose back then, because I know that until now, like everything all is alive and organic, so it has changed a lot. But from the beginning, there was this line of, they said changing the world, but actually, in a sense, is bringing crypto to reality. So how can we have use cases? And the more and more we are seeing crypto being mainstream, being like people are trying to like approach this weirdness and very technical terms and like trying to comprehend it, even though you have no technical background. You just want to use it because it's like cool and because it's kind of popular. And so I think the Mu has brought this. I think this is something that would happen anyway, but the Mu has crystallized it, you know, in a sense, since Mu Chiang Mai and in Buenos, I think this type of events, this type of community would have been born either way, but the Mu has like crystallized it with this vibe, which is very abstract, but at the same time, something that we brought from Chiang Mai. It's this vibe. People, you cannot just measure it, but it's the vibe of like just hanging around and seeing what happens. And it's very community focused, very ground focused in the sense it's not meant for people that already know where they're going, that already have a lot of direction, background, or genius ideas, but they're just trying out. And then you see the things happening. So yeah, this is just some of the things that I really believe in the Mu. And that's why it's so nice to have Lido with us, because you were also part of like presenting, introducing everything for people that really want to understand how can we make this content, this knowledge approachable and accessible. So it was very fun to see the Lido workshops always full and with people interested and people getting to know, because this is part of the movement of making it actually have an impact for later. I didn't introduce myself so much. I'm from Brazil as well. So having it in Buenos Aires is kind of complex for me, because good that it's in Latin America, but Brazil and Argentina has this competition vibe, you know? So I was helping the enemy. I'm kidding. But yeah.
Oh yeah, you are a traitor
That
to
is
your
good.
country.
Sorry?
You're a traitor to your country.
I am.
Oop, I think you froze for a second. Um,
I had to come back to Brazil, like, no, somewhere else.
oh,
Yeah.
well, I think it was now that you talked about light as well, maybe we can enter for a second onto the sessions. I was actually surprised overall. Well, I honestly didn't know what to expect exactly. Um, not it's not like you have a pop-up city happening every day, so it's not like you are used to the setting and how everything works together. Um, like the dynamic is really really different to I don't know, a regular conference or something like that. Also because you don't have that sense of urgency because it's only one day or two, it's like 6 weeks. And even though I was only there for 2 weeks, I think it was, doing two sessions per week, like you could see everyone sort of very relaxed, getting all the information in, but also really excited about all the information that was being shared by every community, and specifically at least for mine. um for my sessions, it was pretty good to see like the amount of people. What was actually quite a bit of people sort of going every single session and staying there for more than an hour. Most of them were just scheduled for 1 hour, hour something, and people just stayed. um Staking, it's sort of a complex topic because I think it's out of most of the topics you can talk about, is probably the highest barrier because you require a machine to validate, to run a node, whatever. But yeah, it was what's amazing to see, like the interest of everyone there. Not sure if you guys had any expectations from that, or how you see, how did you see, or how do you think it was going to play out when we talked the first time?
Hmm. I think just like every Mu event we host, we don't really have like very clear expectations. Like sometimes we do, but I think we always like have this um 30% expectation, but then 70% let's expect the unexpected. So I think the same. During the Lido gathering or workshops, originally I was only expecting like, okay, an easy introduction of what Lido is, and maybe a small discussion like what challenge or is Lido facing, whatever. But then somehow debates happened, and somehow like went really deep, like how to draw the curve, and then all those stuff. So I think it's really interesting that um and that's like I think it's interesting, like when you gather that amount of people at a space, and also for enough long period of time.
Mm-hmm.
And so people will literally like finish those very shallow introduction of the project yourself, and you can actually start moving on. You get to meet them the second day, you move on to the next topic. So what brought you to blockchain? What's your actual thought about Lido, and what's your
Yeah.
actual thought about staking, and all those stuff. So you go really deep. You go like you touch those sensitive parts that people doesn't really talk about in conferences, and you sometimes even like go grab a beer and actually talk. So um other stuff. So like a lot of white thoughts could happen in this sort of like in-person connection, and able to touch, see, and actual like deep, like heart-to-heart discussion. I think this is something at the whole magic of
Yeah.
both the Lido workshop and also this long-term gatherings. So I think a lot of discussions in those workshops were amazing, and a lot of them were like off topic. Originally, like 10 minutes was related to the workshop topic, but then the remaining like wasn't at all. But it was fun. I think that's exactly what we need, actually. A free space to talk, a place where you feel safe, and there's no blockchain politics and everything. It's simply pure intellectual discussion.
Yeah, I think that was also part of the idea. Like I didn't go there with a whole agenda. It was just more like the first session I had a few bullet points, and then what do you guys want to talk about, pretty much. And I think that made it pretty dynamic and engaging. Also, having Nixo there was a surprise, and I think a very good surprise
Yes.
because it leveled up the whole discussion with, um, you could say, me representing one side of the whole debate and she representing the other one. That was pretty cool. Um, and continuing, you guys are still like the move still happening in other places and also in like in Argentina itself. It has evolved. But before entering into details, just very curious to hear how do you guys think staking in general can can be used by the people joining the move related initiatives, or like um how can that be more how can we contribute to the adoption, or how can the staking itself help people in those places?
That- That's so nice to ask, because I know you bought the device, right? To leave it with the community. And I think this is the point. Maybe a single person handling everything can be a little intimidating, a little bit far from what they can really afford, what they can really manage. But by building a community that would do it together, they can both learn and work on it together. So it's very beneficial to have community doing staking together, because they will like really collaborate, and you get them involved. You give them one more thing to work on together. So it's about sharing the responsibilities around it. You have to understand what's going on, because it involves money, it involves energy, it involves certain decisions that are both technical and theoretical. So you have to like align with everyone what's going to happen. So I think it's very beneficial actually for a community to have it, because they can bring people to the understanding. First time I came around and like built one of those. I don't remember the name. You build one of those small computers. What's the name? There's a technical name. I forgot.
Validator.
Sorry.
Yeah,
A validator.
Yeah, I guess yes. I like it was with the community, and it was like a fun thing to do, and you break some barriers. And for some people, this will be more natural, and for some people, it will be more like, oh yes, I already know because I studied, because I have a personal interest in it. But for many people, it will be a way to break down this barrier, I think. And it's the same as having you, for example, at the Moo, because it's very different from having an online meeting,
yeah,
to have you walking around. Oh yeah, this is my meeting now. And then you're waiting for the class to be open, for the space for people to
Mhm.
leave and go, and you can answer questions in between, and you can also be available after. So in between, so it's very horizontal in that way.
yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things I still get goosebumps every time I do is holding one of those machines in my hand and like telling people you can have the whole chain on the palm of your hand. Like I think that's very powerful. And just because you need extra hardware and things, people get very intimidating, but actually it's really, really easy. And I'm really looking forward to see what happens with the machine afterwards, like I don't know, in a few months, in a year, whatever. Hopefully it may, I don't know, I guess no one knows, but it may get used to do something on mainnet, or just like be hand over through 1,000 people that just learn how to set up the first node with that machine. And I think that's probably the most special part of the whole interaction. Um, and talking about the future,
We promise you.
uh-huh.
We promise we won't sell it on eBay.
Well, I hope so. Or if you sell it with the ether at a discount, and I can get it or something, like a backdoor deal.
Okay. Okay.
We can chat about that later. Talking about the future, um, I know the move continues all around the world, and also Muy Buenos specifically has evolved with all the with support of the community, other projects, and also just the political landscape of Argentina right now. So curious, just curious to hear what are you guys up to? What can we expect, and maybe even how Lido could be involved as well?
Yes. So currently, I think our team, we are working on different things at the moment. And for example, Santi is basically full-time working on Chris Minto, trying to make the change, push the whole movement forward. And Manon is also part-timing on the whole pop-up city in Chris Minto. And V and I, both of us, we are currently working MOOC Accra, this two week gathering in Ghana and in Accra for we have like over 100 developers, blockchain enthusiasts, or community leaders from Africa joining us together here in Ghana for 2 weeks, and we're planning together what is the next step for African blockchain ecosystem. For example, one of the few things we discussed is actually create this movement called it's called the African collective. So it's going to be a research focused project. So to research the actual challenges in different regions in Africa, and then create this sort of like wholesome understanding of the problem, and understanding from the perspective from the government, perspective from the regular users, founders, and people from the market. And slowly we can create a wholesome overall report to different foundations or to different startups so that they can actually solve the problem. And that is something we're currently working with, and gonna and also collaborate with different community leaders here in Africa, like from Web3 Bridge, Aya House, Eat Safari, and more. And so that's something we're working on. And we also raised a 30K grant pool to support this initiative, and also and yeah, so this is one of the whole thing. This is one of the main things the Moo team is working on. And Patty is also on a new journey, I guess. And please introduce Moo. I'll levels like let everyone hear like your new journey and how things are.
So what I have been working on recently has been more focused on the Brazilian community. I'm trying to gather devs in Brazil and devs who are Web 2 and introduce them to Web 3, get them to know about ZK knowledge, and translate a lot of the content. Yeah, translate a lot of the content that we already have in English to Portuguese, because we have a very strong language barrier. As I think it happens all around Latin America, right? From Spanish to English, but from Portuguese to English is also there's a very steep learning curve for a huge part of the population. But we have great minds. We have a very good education on colleges and universities. And we have, like, Brazil is one of the top 3 or top 5 GitHub contributors, one of the best ones. So we have a lot of people, we have a lot of bright minds. We just need to offer them, show that, hey, here is how you can actually have a use case with crypto, like apply your math knowledge, apply your physics knowledge in something that is practical and useful with this technology. So this is currently what I have been focused on, the Brazilian community. Maybe I'll move Brazil in the future. Let's see how it goes. We'll start with a few events. We still have not so many people who know about Web3, although the government is very open to it. There's a very strong position by Solana here in Brazil. So, yeah. So we are trying to empower these Brazilian folks. And yeah, so I'm doing like more groundwork, and then eventually gather them with with Moo Brazil. And yeah, this is currently, and so, but the future
what's funny is
just to say, you asked about the future of Moo, and the Moo is it seems like it's spreading around the world, because it's basically going somewhere, finding people who already know about crypto and just gathering them and building something great, as if it's that simple, but in general terms, it is gathering these people and then giving them a common purpose. So it's not just a gathering, right? Like Sun always says. So this can happen in many places, and it's very special for us when the country we are in, it's open and wants to participate, like what happened in Buenos Aires. Very different from Chiang Mai, because in Chiang Mai we didn't have the local people engaged. So we had it in Buenos Aires, so it was very interesting. And oh yeah, and yes, this is hopefully something we'll have in Brazil, as it is very strong in Africa right now, with V taking the lead there.
I wish I
Yes.
could be in Africa right now. That's like, it sounds fun, but it's also quite a long trip. Well, I think that was pretty much all. I had a quick chat with Son yesterday. Like, it was just really nice to just chat with him. And it has been really nice to chat with all of you guys again. Especially with V, because I didn't really get to talk to her that much in all this time. I really appreciate. Okay, cool. Well, now I'm quite interested to hear sort of like what's the future of the Moo? Like, what are you guys going to be up to? I know there's Muakura. I know you, Patty, aren't doing exactly the Moo, but are like now very into the Brazilian community, and crecimiento as well. So like, oh, I'll just let you guys know. I won't spoil the thing. I'll just let you guys take it.
Okay, so I'll probably introduce Chris Minto because okay, so Santi, one of our teammate, and also Manon, and also me, I'm part-time working on that. But Patty, no, Manon and Santi, so they are currently working full-time on Chris Minto. So what Chris Minto is, it's a 3-year movement in Argentina trying to push blockchain forward by doing by having more mass adoption. So looking for like 5 to 10 million people on chain, and also trying to support local crypto startups to create a better startup ecosystem for future projects by doing first by like inviting more overseas VCs, potential sponsors or investors to Argentina to meet the talents, to meet the early stage projects. And second is to work with the government, the regulators, to create a more regulatory friendly framework for the crypto startups. And currently, we are working with Diego. He is the Secretariat of Department of Innovation Department, and so he is currently like working closely together, and also we are also trying to create this special economic zone in the heart of Buenos Aires. So in that special economic zone, people can spend stable coins, can start up their crypto projects much easier, much more friendly, and use like ZK ID kind of tool to check in different places, and also many more. For example, like pay probably hopefully one day we could pay tax using crypto. So a lot of things we're trying to make it happen in that special economic zone, and hopefully someday in the result in the zone could actually be implemented outside the zone and hopefully get pushed across the country. And with that being possible, we can actually create create reports, collect data, for example, data such as the economy activity in the zone compared to outside, and the data safety and everything, and amount of projects being started, amount of overseas investment have been done, and all this could be a very convincing like result report to other countries outside Argentina, and hopefully that could be done very soon. And we are very hyped about this whole project. Yes.
All right. Could you guys hear me? I hope my internet is stable enough to share the future of the moon. So yes, just like we put in our website, right now, the headline is bringing permissionless, depth-focused cyberpunk pop-up city to the world. And I think just like in 6 days, we are gonna have our birthday party of the moon. And it's been 1 year already. Doing pop-up city is great, and we've been experimenting a lot. We met so many friends, and we have so many supporters along the way. But this 1 year has been a research phase for us. And what's next? We actually have some like brainstorming and ideation about that. In this 1 year, we've been able to look at the picture, the big picture, is to how we identify those like systematic problems, as in we've been talking a lot about the technology gap between developed country and developing countries. And the second is there are so in America, in China, in all the developed countries, young people, young talents have been struggling to find jobs and also struggling to find meanings of what they are doing. And that's why the digital nomad movement started. So the second and the third is we've been participating in a lot of crypto hackathons, hacker houses, and conferences. And we found that there's so for developers, they are lack of the deep social insights and the ability to really look into the market and talk to the user. And for for academy researchers, they are lacking of the building ability to create those solutions. So the Moo, we want to be the connector among the real builders and researchers. And how are we going to approach that is by doing a research focus forum. For example, like what you shared about the research forum before, right? So first, we're going to have the research forum that's focused on an African region, but maybe after crecimiento, this forum can expand into South America. But what's important is that instead of doing research during the event, during the pop-up city event, we can literally do the research online, do the brainstorming, and then have a certain approach for the builders that we are going to gather, give them directions, give them ideas that they can directly contributing on in the event. So the process will be we do online research in the forum, and then we do results-driven events. Could be a hackathon, an incubator, or a job fair in Africa. And that's the two parts of what are we going to do next. And another track is the culture, because just like you experienced in Mu Buenos, the Mu has certain culture, as in the values that we want to spread, the doer mentality, the open source, cypherpunk, all these cultures are really important. And also the most important culture that we want to bring or we want to speak about is to build for the real world problems. That's not being talked about like so often in the crypto space. And that's the culture we want to shape. And apart from that, we have also the long-term hub, and the first one maybe will happening in Argentina during crecimiento, that we want to establish this hub as a lighthouse as in a places where we can gather all those contributors and the basic infrastructure to support all of the initiative, like the research and the incubator, the job affair. So it's going to be a home for us all. And after this all been done, then I think we can shift our pop-up city into annually event. And just like DevCon is also a global and not annually gathering, right? They are like DevCon, how they are 4 years one time, right?
No, it happens once every 2 years.
Once every
Yes.
once every 2 years. So DevCon, they also like been elaborating a lot, changing the dynamic, changing the form. So yes, that's what we are planning for the next year
It's pretty
so
cool.
far.
Pretty nice.
And just to add some more, what I've been doing is more involving the Brazilian community. We have a lot of devs. We have we are one of the top contributors in GitHub. So I know we have a lot of quality and a lot of smart brains, but we don't have a lot of people who know what crypto is, who have actually seen any real use case, any who see it as a possibility and not just as a scam. And when you enter this world, you realize how many opportunities there are. So what I'm trying to do right now is to educate and to like spread knowledge about how to join Web3, how to learn coding in Web3, what are the paths you could follow, what are use cases, and then maybe we do a Move Brazil. But for now, it's about bringing people the understanding of what crypto is. So eventually, we can have an engaged community here who will not just receive people from outside and learn from them, but they will be actively involved with their own projects. And we have, there's a lot of room in Brazil to grow. So yeah, this is one of the arms we have.
That's pretty cool. It's very interesting how throughout the conversation, um, like this one group is able to have like 3, 4 completely different things at the same time in different countries. Probably like I'm I'm really amazed at what all of you guys do. I think it's very important, and I think at least from my side, it's kind of my duty to showcase all that. Um, in the interest of Lido, for example, say, um, there's just a lot of things that we still can do better, and there's a lot of community out there that, like, you have one, like, just in this conversation, you have one in Argentina happening, you have one in Africa, and you have one in Brazil. So like there's a lot of people that's very interested in Ethereum, and contributing to it in some way or another. And well, it's the running a node is probably the one of the most meaningful ways to contribute to the network, because you're actually running the network. Um, and just in general, like, uh, we are so early, as everyone says. So I think it's important to be in the first line, building what matters, so that tomorrow, like, we can really enjoy the benefits. Um, with that, I think I'm closing. I'll thank you all again for the time. Also, Manon, who had to drop in a bit earlier. Hope to see you all of guys soon, and I hope we stay in touch and do some more cool staking stuff all around the world.
Definitely, man.
Thank you.
See you.